Hello, everyone. Welcome to Voice of Hope. My name is Patty, and I have my sidekick with me tonight, Libby.
Hello.
So, Libby, tonight we're going to be talking about gaslighting.
Okay.
Do you know the term, what it means?
I don't. I mean, I've got an idea, but I want to hear the term.
Okay, I'm going to explain where it comes from.
Okay.
So, the term originates with a 1938 play called Gaslight. In the play, a woman's husband tries to convince her that she is mentally unstable. He makes small changes in her environment, such as dimming the light or gas lights in their house. He then convinces his wife she is simply imagining these changes. His ultimate goal is to have her committed into a psych ward so he can steal her inheritance.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Have you ever watched it?
Never, and I never had heard about it till now.
Well, gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation in which the abuser attempts to sow self-doubt and confusion in their victim's mind. Typically, gaslighters are seeking to gain power and control over the other person by distorting reality and forcing them to question their own judgment and intuition.
Yep.
For example, believe me, this is for the best.
Right, heard it.
Yeah, when doing something you perceive as abusive, controlling, or wrong. And there's somebody straight up lies about reality, they manipulate relationships, scapegoating.
Yeah, I really haven't known about gaslighting that long. Have you? Like,
No,
I've heard of
no.
it called other things, but like, I never heard it called gaslighting.
No, it's a new term, I guess.
I guess so, yeah. After that play. Right?
Yeah.
But I never ever heard it. But boy, it sure does happen a lot. I mean, not saying me, but I'm saying in general.
Yeah.
You know, it's a form of abuse almost.
It is. It's a psychological abuse. I've seen it done to people, and I've been gaslit.
Oh yeah,
I know. I can look back and I see things now, looking back, thinking, "Wow, I can't believe," you know.
Right.
But you don't. You trust people.
Yep, definitely. I trust people so much. But what was I just gonna say?
You know, they use manipulative
Yep.
tactics in which a person wants to gain power over you.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Self-doubt, questioning yourself, and then you slowly question your reality.
Definitely. Especially to like somebody who's abused by a family member with it, or you know, a relationship. Boy, it could really make you go crazy.
I want to read what the signs are too. If you recognize these signs in your relationship, whether it's family member, a spouse, a co-worker, or friend, or whomever.
Yep.
Signs in your relationships is denial, blame, shifting, isolation, withholding, causing confusion or doubt, narcissism, love bombing. That's just to name a few.
Love bombing, what's that?
Just like overly, flattering them to try to get them to.
Yep. To go along with what the other person wants. Sometimes when you hear about it so much, I start to wonder, gosh, was that gaslighting?
Yeah.
Even though you don't mean it.
No. Yeah, and I think at some time maybe everybody has at one point in their life done that.
Yeah,
and not
for sure. Well, what about gaslighting in the workplace?
Yeah, has that ever happened to you?
Oh, it has. Really? And I never really thought about it till I really learned what gaslighting is. But I had a boss, and we won't mention any names.
Okay.
But she does it to everybody, so everybody probably does know. But she is a huge gaslighter, and she is the kind that does it and then sits back and watches because it's always a trickle effect. It always was anyway, but she is the it's like that's how she lives her everyday life, is just gaslighting. And you almost would think, are they jealous of somebody? But it is an evil thing to do to somebody when you do it out of being nasty.
Well, they tend to create a false reality too.
Yep.
And they cut off their victims socially.
Oh, for
If you
sure.
don't,
Only one friend she can have at a time.
yeah, if you don't conform to their ways, they'll
Mhm.
cut you off socially.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
Just a terrible way to live.
And two, they also take credit for other people's work.
Oh yeah. Or to make themselves look better,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But
That's master
oh yeah, she's
manipulate.
all the above. Yeah,
Mm.
she's the one you keep your. Like I had to pretend like she was my friend because you never know what she's gonna do. But then, as I learned, even as your friend, she's still gonna gaslight and manipulate. You know.
Oh.
So it's a pattern of the kind of people that they are.
Mm.
Okay, I ranted. It's just it's a form of abuse for sure. People don't see it that way because it's like you don't know when someone's even doing it, you know?
Yeah. And it's almost impossible for a gaslighter to apologize for their behavior.
Never would apologize, even when they're told they're absolutely wrong and they know they're wrong, and so does everybody else. I can't imagine the person even saying I'm sorry.
Well, because if they say they're sorry, that means that they're taking responsibility for their behavior.
Yep. It's terrible.
Also, it says that the gaslighter may convince the target that their memories are wrong, or
For
that
sure,
they
that's what she does.
really,
Yep.
or that they are overreacting to an event. The abuser may
Mhm.
then present their own thoughts and feelings as the real truth.
Yep. It's
Yeah,
to a T.
I've seen it done. I've seen it done to people. It's been done to me, to where
Mhm.
things are done right in front of you, but then you're supposed to pretend like you
Yes.
didn't see
Oh,
it.
I bet. Yeah.
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 Or that you have your story twisted or it's
Mhm.
wrong. They try to
Mhm.
make you feel as
That
though
is all
you
stuff
didn't
that was
see or
done.
hear what you really
Mhm.
saw and what
Definitely.
you really heard. It's what it is. They doubt yourself and your
Mhm.
reality.
But sometimes the person you think you're supposed to trust the most, like at work,
Yeah.
your boss or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, that's somebody that you trust or that's, whatever. And it's so you almost start to think, is it me? And I believe I used to say, is it me?
Really?
Yep.
Well, it says each gaslighting incident is so minor
Mhm.
they can't pinpoint any specific cause for their unease.
Mhm.
I felt unease
Oh, yes.
a lot of
I
times.
bet you went through a time where I know you did.
And I could pinpoint it though.
Mhm. But that is a terrible way to be treated as gaslighting. It's mean,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, over time the person may second guess their own emotions and memories.
Mhm.
They may rely on their abuser to tell them if their memory is correct.
Oh, I agree with that 100%. Still this work.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yep. It's and then you notice everybody around you starts to notice, like, you're right. It happened to me. It happened to me. It happened to me. And it's all supposed to be kept a secret. You don't talk about what happened.
Oh, yeah.
Because heaven forbid somebody tell you you've been gaslighted.
Right. The abuser uses this trust to gain control over the target.
Yes.
Common techniques include withholding, which means refusing to listen to any concerns or pretending not to understand them.
Yes.
Like they have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Example, I don't have time to listen to this nonsense. You're not making any sense.
Yep.
Questioning the target's memory. An abuser may deny the events that occurred in the way the target actually remembers.
Definitely.
They may also invent details of the event that did not occur. Also, pretending to forget events that had happened to further discredit the victim's memory. An abuser may deny making promises to avoid responsibility.
Yep.
Example, what are you talking about? I never promised you that.
Mm-hmm. I thought of one.
Also, they'd like to change the subject to divert the target's attention from a topic.
Mm-hmm.
They want to get off that subject. An abuser may twist a conversation into an argument about the person's credibility.
For sure. Yep. This person that I know that did this has done all of the above.
Really?
Yes. To one person or another.
Example, have you been talking to your sister again? She's always putting stupid ideas in your
Mm,
head.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, when somebody else warns you and gives you a heads up, they try to they don't want you to be around that
For
person.
sure. Yep.
Also, they try to say that the person is overreacting.
Yeah. Always somebody else's fault.
Mm-hmm. Or you're so sensitive, everyone else thought my joke was funny.
Yep. It almost sounds abusive, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
But some you can have such a tight hold on people.
Oh, yeah. I've talked to a couple ladies and they've been gaslit, and
Mm-hmm.
it's sad because of the damage that's been done to them.
For sure.
Somebody that they've trusted.
And then you can't trust somebody again, or you can't, that
Yeah.
boss, you always question what your boss is
Like
thinking or doing.
what's your agenda?
Yes, there's always,
Yeah.
you feel like there's always an agenda.
Mm-hmm. A gaslighter often uses the target's mistakes and overreactions to cast themselves as the victim.
Mm-hmm.
For example, an abuser may scream accusations at a person until the other party must raise their voice to be heard.
Yes.
The abuser may then cut the conversation short, claiming the other person is out of control and too aggressive. In some cases, the abuser may accuse the other person of being the true gaslighter.
The person did
Twist
that to
it.
me.
They twist it to make you look like the
Mm-hmm.
bad guy.
Everybody knows I hardly ever would raise my voice to somebody, and one time I had it, and so I did, and then said, "You're being insubordinate.
Really?
Like, you have talked to me like that since the day I've known you." I defend myself one time, and that's, you know what I'm saying?
So, Libby, how did that affect you? I mean, did you
Well,
feel as though you were going crazy or it was you?
I did, because that person almost made you feel like you were.
Yeah.
But when I saw how so many other people were affected,
Yeah.
I saw her beg for somebody to be fired. And then when the person was fired, became that person's best friend. And now that was the new victim, and still it's happening to this day.
Really?
Yes, it is. It's such, she's so predictable. So you always know. But it did affect me because I never felt comfortable. I always felt like if
Did you feel alone, like you were the only one
well,
that
I
could
did it
see
first
through her?
until everybody else started seeing it, but I felt like nobody could see it like I saw it.
Right.
But then there got to be others. But it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible, and I haven't been around it in how long, and I still see her doing it.
Aren't you so glad that you're not part of that anymore?
So glad. Very ugly. It wasn't any way to. It's not a good work environment.
Yeah.
People wouldn't even work on the days that person would work. And that person
has anybody
would say,
confronted her?
I don't care. Probably not. Nobody confronted anybody really there.
Oh.
No.
Well, they say how to fight gaslighting. Often the first step is to protect yourself from gaslighting is to recognize its presence.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's truth.
Yep.
It's not you just imagining it.
Mm-hmm.
And once you know you're being manipulated, you can determine your own reality more easily. Also, it says ideally someone experiencing abuse would get help and possibly leave the relationship. Yet sometimes barriers prevent a person from leaving right away. The person may be financially dependent on their abuser.
Right.
Or there may be children involved.
Right.
That's obviously a relationship, between a couple.
Definitely.
Then it gives us some tips. Here are some tips you can use to defend yourself. Don't take it personal. It's the person's issues.
Definitely. Because you start to wonder, like, why me?
Yeah, and don't take responsibility for the other person's actions either.
Right.
The other person may claim you provoked the abuse. And if you avoid the action that offended them in the past, the gaslighter will likely come up with new excuses for their abuse.
I would confront sometimes. I would make comments like, why do you do that to me?
Really?
Oh, yeah. But, or even like little comments probably to make, like I'm trying to feel bad for myself to her just to find out why.
Yeah.
But it wasn't my issue. It was hers.
Right.
So she would pick certain people. So
Probably people that were nice like you,
yeah, right.
that wouldn't speak out.
It's definitely, and that's what everybody that worked there would tell me, because you don't stand up for yourself.
Yes.
So I was an easy target.
I see easy targets. I
Mhm.
see, men and women that are
Right.
easy targets for this kind of abuse
Yeah.
because they want to trust and they want to believe in the other person.
Mm-hmm.
People who gaslight others are often trying to fill a void in themselves,
Mm-hmm. I believe that.
but they will not fix their heart by breaking yours. So remember
Boy,
that.
that is a good one.
Right. It's true.
That is a really good one. Say it again. I forgot it already.
But they will not fix their heart by breaking yours.
That's really good.
Yeah, that is good.
Sometimes you amaze me.
And just because the other person sounds sure of themselves doesn't mean that
That's
they
right.
are right. Gaslighter may never see your side of the story, yet their opinion does not define reality.
Right.
Nor does it define who you are as a person. Do not argue on their terms. If the other person is fabricating facts, you're unlikely to have a productive discussion with them.
Mm-hmm.
You may spend all your energy debating what is real instead of making your point.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I would have read this a long time ago.
Yeah, well, this is new. I asked my one friend about it that's a counselor, and she said this is like a new term.
Okay.
That she sees a lot more of.
I bet. Like I said, sometimes I have to say, did I just gaslight?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you do that to me, though.
Well, only you.
We want to, if anyone's out there that feels as though they're being gaslit, and it's abusive. It is.
It's definitely abuse.
It's
a form of abuse. Yeah,
it is. If you feel like you're in danger, you can always leave the situation, but sometimes be careful. You got to be careful. Right. It depends on how abusive the person is.
Mm-hmm. And read about it. I think that's when we started talking that we were going to do this, and I started reading. That's when I learned about it.
Yeah, me too.
I always thought it was like manipulation or something, but gaslighting sounds perfect because
you can't pinpoint the
that's
abuse.
Right. That's another one. Yeah, another.
They plant a seed and then they walk away and leave that seed free.
Oh, it's getting me worked up. It's getting me mad.
Are you getting flashbacks?
Yes. See, you're supposed to be there for me. But then you're told, "Don't be crazy. You know I love you." That's not true.
Oh.
And then I think, okay, so it's me. I only feel like she's just picking on me. But then when I finally looked, when somebody else was the target, and then somebody else, and somebody else,
then you'd see for yourself. Yeah.
But nobody believed. Like when it's like I couldn't even tell the story because there was an incident that I couldn't even tell the story because I thought they'll never believe me. They'll never think that she did that.
Right.
And that's what she knew.
They're very, very, very convincing. Yeah.
Yep. And it was our secret then. Once I stood up for myself and probably she realized how ridiculous it was, then it's just keep that between us because I don't want to get anybody in trouble. And I was like, oh, there we go.
Yeah.
That was the whole point of all this.
Well, the effects on gaslighting can damage
PTSD like me.
Right. It could be. Psychological health. It affects you. The process is often chipping away the person's confidence and self-esteem.
Yep. And that is true.
And they may come to believe that they deserve the abuse. That's the sad part of it all.
Oh, about abuse, it is.
Because they come to believe that they deserve that. And they don't.
Sad. No, they don't. Nope. That's why abuse is so ugly. Mental, that's why mental is just as bad as physical. Yeah,
and a person can grow to mistrust everything they hear, feel, and remember. Gaslighting can also affect a person's social life. The abuser may manipulate them into cutting ties with family and friends. That's isolating them. The person might also isolate themselves,
Mm-hmm.
believing they are unstable or unlovable. Boy,
Right.
that is messed up.
It is messed up. It sure is.
Even after the person escapes the abusive relationship, the effects of gaslighting
Mm-hmm.
can persist.
Just like abuse.
Yeah.
You know, any other abuse. It's
That's
just
like we were
doesn't end.
talking about. You can have trouble making decisions on
Mm-hmm.
your own.
Don't trust yourself. Yep.
Yeah, they're also less likely to voice their emotions and their feelings, knowing that they are likely to be invalidated.
Terrible. Abuse.
Yeah, it may lead people to develop mental health concerns.
Mm-hmm.
The constant self doubt and confusion can contribute to anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Man, there's a lot that's involved
There
with
is.
this kind of abuse.
There is. And you might not even know you're being abused.
You're right. Some survivors may struggle to trust others,
Mm-hmm.
and they may be on constant guard for further manipulation. Put that wall up.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And the person may blame themselves for not catching the gaslighting earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That was me.
Yeah.
And I trusted the people, but and now I see it being done to other people,
Mm-hmm.
and it will all.
And you want to scream to the
yes,
stand on that.
and it will
Tell the
all
world.
be revealed.
It will.
Yeah,
It will. That's what the good part is.
Survivors may become desperate for validation. They may try to keep other people around them with people pleasing behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to please everybody. I see a lot of that.
Yeah. And can never please not a one of them because that's not what you're supposed to do.
No.
Please yourself.
Please God.
Please God first.
Yeah. Then everything else will fall into place.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And don't question yourself, because some people can grow to mistrust everything they hear, feel, and remember.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be careful with that. Yeah, that's sad. That
Isn't
whole
it?
gaslighting. Reading into this, I'm like, wow. And the main reasons why people gaslight others is the common reasons people gaslight is to gain power, of course, over others.
Mm-hmm.
And this need to dominate may stem from narcissism, personality
Mm-hmm.
disorder, or other issues. They're always looking for a victim.
Always.
And if you're a victim
Mm-hmm.
in this abusive relationship, then
Mm-hmm.
there is help out there for you.
There definitely is.
I pick up the phone
Mm-hmm.
and reach out. Is there anything, Lib, that you'd like to add?
No, I just hope nobody's getting gaslighted. Gaslit.
Gaslit.
What is it? Gaslighted or gaslit? That's all right.
You should have Googled it.
I should have. Well, I did, and I had a beautiful spreadsheet here.
Oh my gosh.
Something
Guys,
happened.
we are...
If you hear clicks and ticks and buttons, it's because I was trying to fix my computer. So hopefully by the time everybody hears this, I'm back in working order.
Oh, yeah. Let's hope so.
I'll ask everybody before I come back here a day without the...
Yeah, mouse.
Yes. Okay. Well, everybody have a good week.
Take care. Reach out if you need help.
Yes, please.
There's always hope out there.
There is.